Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Today on our show, we have Dr. Lou Scotti. He is a podiatrist in Nesconset. He has been a Ronkonkoma Rotarian for 34 years, and he is the race director for the Lieutenant Michael Murphy Run Around the Lake. He is also the vice president executive board of Suffolk County Council for the Boy Scouts of America. Welcome to the show, Dr. Lou.
Hey, thank you, Lorianne. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure, and I'm really excited about this because I love this race. The race around the lake for to benefit Lieutenant Michael Murphy benefits who, Dr. Lou?
Many different charities. The Ronkonkoma Rotary puts the race on and uses all proceeds for different charities. 65% of the money raised goes to veterans causes, most right here on Long Island. Last year, we donated over $100,000 to veterans causes here on Long Island, and other proceeds go to other local charities, food banks that we support, as well as the Gift of Life program, which is bringing children in for life-saving heart surgery from other countries, and do other things that Rotary does. So all the money goes to charity, but the majority of it goes to veterans causes.
That's absolutely lovely. How many years have you been doing this?
I've been involved since I've been in the club. So for 34 years, I've been the race director for about 25, I think, give or take a couple.
So the Ronkonkoma Rotary has been doing this race for 25 years?
Yes, actually 40 years. You know, that was confusion in the beginning. We started in 1980, before I was a Rotarian. They had 25 runners running around the lake. And then it became a major fundraiser for the Ronkonkoma Club. Then 9 years ago, Dan Murphy came to us and asked us if we would consider partnering with the Michael Murphy Foundation to honor his son. He had a very compelling story. You know, those of you, may have heard of Michael Murphy. Everyone's probably heard of the movie Lone Survivor, where 4 SEALs were inserted into Afghanistan to follow some bad guys. They got discovered, a big firefight. 3 of them died, including Mike. The Lone Survivor, Marcus Luttrell, wrote the book and was involved with the movie. Right. But Michael was actually from Long Island. He was actually born in St. John's Hospital in Smithtown, which is now St. Catherine's. Yeah. And then he grew up in Patchogue. And so it was a very compelling story. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for trying to save his men and exposing himself. But the hook for me that just floored me was that, Mike was a lifeguard at Lake Ronkonkoma. When his dad told me that, I was like, oh, wow, he swam in the lake. Wow. So how could we not do this? So we did that 9 years ago. And then so it was confusion because that was actually our 32nd run, but it was the first Michael Murphy run. So now we've kind of it's the Michael Murphy run. It's his run. It's in his name. We went from having 500 runners and raising about $15,000 for charity. Last year we had over 4,000 runners and we raised over $175,000. So it's been just an incredible partnership between the Michael Murphy Foundation and the good works in the Rotary Club of Ronkonkoma.
Yeah, I'm honored to be able to say that I'm a Ronkonkoma Rotarian, and I love everything that Rotarians do. So being in Rotary for 34 years, tell our listeners about the Rotary. It's such a wonderful organization.
That's absolutely it in a nutshell. Rotary is an international organization. It was formed in 1905 in Chicago. 5 businessmen got together and they were going to have lunch together. And I think they were, doing business with each other as businessmen often do. And then they decided, that they'd been blessed in life and they wanted to do something for the community. And so their first service project was to create a public toilet back in 1905.
Okay.
Today we kind of think that seems crazy, but that was a big thing then. So from there, it became an international organization, and the motto of Rotary is service above self. So it's all about giving back to the community. It was a men's organization and a business organization, and then in 1985, the Supreme Court said you're really not, you're not a social organization, you're a business, and so you have to let women in, which was fantastic to do. Almost half the 1.2 million Rotarians in the world are women at this point. And, it has grown tremendously, where it's in I want to say about 170 countries. And so what Rotary tries to do is create world peace through understanding, by people getting to know each other. And that's what I've gotten to see in my 34 years as a Rotarian. I've learned that, I could disagree with somebody. Like there are, people in my club who are very liberal. I tend to be more conservative. And yet I found out, I can disagree with them, but I still, highly respect them. And that's unfortunately something that we don't have that much in today's world. But Rotary taught me that. Rotary taught me things like giving to other people and how prejudice is taught. I think I've related this story to people before, where the Gift of Life program, we bring kids over from other countries for heart-saving surgery here at Stony Brook. We were doing that.
And you posted those children, right?
Yes. So we had little Jerome from Trinidad who was here. He was 6, my son was 5. And they used to play Batman together and be running and jumping around in the house with the capes and stuff. But Jerome was very dark-skinned, and, my son is white-skinned. And after 6 weeks of playing together all the time, never once did my son come to me and say, "Hey, Dad, what's up with Jerome? Why does he have such a big dark tan and I don't?" Kids are colorblind. So obviously I learned that was a big lesson to me, that, prejudice is absolutely 100% taught. And it's something that we need to work on to not teach. But it's just, having kids with heart surgery, had heart surgery, that they would have died. In his country, he could not have gotten it. And, 2 days after surgery, they're running around like little kids should be.
That's the Gift of Life program, right?
Yes, that's the Gift of Life program. It started in Suffolk County, and now there are something like 87 centers throughout the world where they bring kids in for life-saving heart surgery. These kids will die because they don't have the technology in their countries to do these operations, some simple and some complicated, but they would die. And so they've been given a gift of life. In fact, with Jerome, his mom, now Jerome was 6, my son was 5, my son's 31 now. About every 2 or 3 years, I still get a birthday card from his mom. So Jerome is 36 years old. He's a young man, and he's living a great life, a very productive life in Trinidad. And we actually hosted 3 kids. Each one taught us different things in different parts of the country. I'm sorry, of the world, rather. And so it really, we felt that we got more out of it. I thought we got more out of it than the other day, because we got to be able to experience, what life was in other parts of the world. Not everybody has bathrooms. Not everybody has the amount of food that we have here. All the different things that we learned that really hit home. So
I know that. Blessed. Yeah, without a doubt. And I know that, with my children, I too, because they don't know what they don't know. They only know what they've seen. So the honest presumption with all of us is that everybody has the same thing, starts from the same place. So exposing our children to other ways of life, I think, is a really enlightening thing to do, and does dismiss that prospect of them having these learned notions. So with that said, what are the main core values of Rotary? Because I know there are.
Yep. Well, there's something called the Four Way Test, and it's called: is it the truth? Is it beneficial to all? Will it build goodwill and understanding? And is it fair to all concerned? And this was created, I want to say it was around 1940. A gentleman was taking over a company that was failing, and he came in and he said, we need to do things differently. And he created this 4-way test of the things you think and you do, and Rotary adopted it. And so it is really the creed or that we live by, and it's just a good way to do things. I actually see a lot of similarities between Boy Scouts, which I was involved in before Rotary, and what Boy Scouts has its an oath and its law, and it's a way of living your life. And Rotary has the 4-way test, and it's just, if everyone lived by the 4-way test, the world would definitely be a better place. Without a doubt, it's a really good markation where you can go back to make sure you're making good decisions. Because if you go through the 4-way test, it makes the decision-making process so simple. Yep, exactly. And it does put service above self. And on Healthy Lifestyle, we talk about 2 things we're here to do. We're here to learn, and we're also here to serve others. So this is great. If you know a local chapter of Rotary and you're interested, you really should look into joining, because the programs are
staggering about what they do and helping other people. I know we've worked in food pantries and help just anybody who reaches out who needs help. We try to help them any way we can. And again, it's a point of pride that I'm part of. I'm very humbled to be part of this particular Rotary group because the Ronkonkoma Rotary group is just outstanding. Not to say any of the other Rotary groups are not, but this group is really, really above, and it's such a large group of just wonderfully selfless people that I've ever met. So let's circle back to the run around the lake. That's coming up.
Sure.
When is it coming?
June 27th is the date of the event. It will now be virtual. Because
so what does that mean?
Well, it means that instead of us all gathering that day at the lake to run around, and we have a fun run, we have a 4-mile run, and we this year adding on a half marathon because of COVID-19 concerns and health issues and the shutdown and social distancing and all of the things that we're now living under. We're not able to safely have this event. And so Suffolk County has told us that we would not be able to have an in-person event. So we're having a virtual event. And the virtual event means that you register and you are part of our event. We send you a T-shirt, we send you a bib, we send you all the swag that you would normally get if you were here, and you get to run the event whenever you want. So you could sign up for the 4-mile, and you could go run 4 miles. You could sign up for the half marathon. You go run 13.2 miles, and then you would put your time in, on our website. We have a place that you can upload your time. You can upload pictures and video of yourself, or again, depending on what a month from now, how many we're allowed to gather together. You could do it as a group. But certainly we must be safe. So certainly we don't want anyone not following the rules and not being safe. That's always very important. That's why we're here, is to be safe, but to do good things, but do it safely.
Yeah, so how can somebody register to run?
It's a great question. Thank you. We have our website, and it's runaroundthelake.com. And if you go there, there is lots of different information about Michael Murphy and about his mission and the men of Operation Red Wings, which is where this whole thing is dedicated now to memorialize that. But there's also information about running, the different options you have there. We also have sponsorships available. The monies that we raise goes to great causes. And this year, more than ever before, like things like the veterans and stuff that we support need, with everything going on affecting all of us, and everyone has certainly been affected, some more than others though, but veterans are just very vulnerable. And so because of socioeconomic situations. So, a lot of the funding sources for them hasn't been there, or the different support mechanisms may not still be there. So we've been trying to step up with some of the organizations that we support to even, provide more funding. But so we need the money this year as much or more than ever. You can also just support it by just making donations. So people can run, people can be sponsors, or people can just donate and be part of it. And that can all be done right on the website. Runaroundthelake.com is where all that information starts.
I love that. And let's talk about the importance of supporting our community. We're responsible for each other. So going in there and either running, sponsoring, or donating, it supports our local community. This money is not going out of the area. It's supporting the men and women who've served us and allow us to have these kind of conversations on the radio without any interception, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Suffolk County is has the second highest veteran density of any county in the country other than San Diego, California, which is pretty amazing. We don't know how or why, but we have so many veterans here in Suffolk County. And so, they have a lot of needs. And so there's certainly a need there for us to help. And there are many organizations, but the organizations need help. They're delivering food. The organizations deliver food to our veterans. Right.
They deliver social services to our veterans. All these things that are really, we think that government takes care of, and government can only take care of certain things, and that's really not their charter. But that's what these organizations do. And can you name, Dr. Lou, some of the organizations that we do support, that support our vets?
Suffolk United Veterans, which is a countywide organization that is part of the Association of Mental Health and Wellness, is an organization that provides a lot of psychological and mental health services for veterans. There's something called the Dwyer Project. Joe Dwyer was a corporal, a Marine corporal, I believe, who committed suicide. He was from Long Island, from Suffolk County. It's just a disgrace that 22 servicemen die from suicide every day. It's just
every day. Say that again. 22
service or veterans die from suicide every day, which is just a atrocity number. There's something wrong we have to fix. So the Dwyer Project is like a peer-to-peer type of support that was created here on Long Island, and now it's a nationwide project because of the success rate. It's very, very successful, and that's, like I say, based out of here with Suffolk County veterans. Then another organization that we are very involved in is called General Needs. General Needs was started just grassroots by Lonnie and Sue Sherman, who live in Kings Park, in their garage. And, he just saw homeless veterans and felt, if they at least had socks and underwear, clean, new socks and underwear, just give them some dignity. And he started just buying this himself and giving it to homeless veterans. And from there, they just grew and grew, where they started giving boots and blankets and jackets. Boots, they gave boots, and all of a sudden one of the veterans got a job because now he had boots, he could go to work. Just amazing stuff. So, and now they're actually giving food. They're giving, I think he said, something like 300 meals every week now during this pandemic, where, he goes to shelters, and the shelters, they do the best they can, and they're fed. They're fed food. I'm sure it's nutritious food, but it's, shelter food. So he's now going there with, actually, he has restaurants that are donating, or for $10 a person, providing a restaurant quality meal. And I mean, he told a story last week at our Rotary Club that they made this one delivery to a shelter.
I was going to ask you to share that. This is a wonderful story.
Amazing. And Robbie Donna, who actually is the man who started the Gift of Life program in Nassau County, he's working with us. He's in another Rotary Club, but he's delivering food there because his business is in New Jersey, and he delivers it. And there's one veteran there who's very lonely, and he actually stops and has a nice and eats and just sits with the man while he's having, I think, a shrimp scampi or something, a nice meal. And it ends up that man died that night. It's hard to talk about it without getting a little more. You think about, a man in a homeless shelter, but yet had someone sharing a meal with him, a good meal, just to let him know that he was thought of and cared of, that he had dignity, that human dignity, which is something that we have no right to take away from people, and we must give to people. And so that Robbie was able to be there with that man and just spend that little time with him before he went to meet his maker. It's just things like that. You just, they can't make them up, these kind of stories.
Yeah, those are positive impacts that we can make, and it takes nothing. It costs nothing to spend some time to do something like this. It costs nothing but your time to spend time to volunteer and to deliver food to people who delivered so much more for us, so that our children can benefit from being in this great nation that, we call America. And we shouldn't take that for granted. And these great veterans need to have the dignity. They deserve the dignity, and we need to be definitely doing more. So, when we come back to the second half of the show, I really want to speak about what the fundraising goals are and sponsorship opportunities besides, becoming a runner, which is really important, a virtual runner, and also just donating. Individuals can donate, but also businesses can come in and sponsor this. You get really nice exposure from doing it, but also it's for a good cause. And all those organizations that you mentioned, Dr. Lou, those are organizations that are sponsored with the money that we raise in this race. So I think the runaroundthelake.com is a website you really need to take a moment, go out and check it out, and see where maybe you can make a difference. It doesn't matter how much it is, $5, $25, $100, $100,000, whatever you are able to donate, it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference of whether or not somebody eats one day or not. It's going to make a difference of whether or not somebody can get a job because they have boots. I think those are important elements. Don't you, Dr. Lou?
Absolutely. Freedom is not free, and these men and women paid the price for our freedom, and we deserve to pay them back.
Without a doubt, and they did it willingly, and they went and did that for us so that we have this freedom. And I totally respect them and respect everything that you do and what these different organizations do. And that's why we're having this conversation today. So I'm going to ask you all to take a moment, go to runaroundthelake.com. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne. We are talking to Dr. Lou Scotti. He is the race director for the Lieutenant Michael Murphy Run Around the Lake event that we're going to be having on June 27th. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, but we're going to come back and talk about all different kinds of opportunities that you have to participate in this event. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I'm Lorianne. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas on anything you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. Many of the segments that you hear on our show actually come from your recommendations and requests. So we really appreciate that. And also follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. We love hearing from you, and we answer every email and post personally. So feel free to jump out and get some more information. We are today talking with Dr. Lou Scotti. He is the race director for the Lieutenant Michael Murphy Run Around the Lake. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful event that goes on. You can jump on runaroundthelake.com. I know that this is a very well-supported run that has been going on for many, many years. But Dr. Lou, thank you so much for being on. Talk to us about that crazy group that does the 50 miles for Murph from New York City. What are they thinking? Oh, my goodness.
I agree. 5 years ago, this gentleman, Freddie Rodriguez, came to us and he said, I'm going to run from New York City in honor of Mike. Mike Murphy had a friend who was at in a fire station in the El Barrio right next to the World Trade Center. When it went down, someone had passed away there. And so his unit, Murphy's unit, wore the patch of that fire station on the uniform just to remind them of why they were over there. And so Freddie started this thing where he just, all by himself, just went to Manhattan, got there, and started running that night, and showed up Saturday morning at about 8:30 with the run starting at 9 o'clock, having run 50 miles all by himself. We were there. Next thing you know, Channel 2 News is coming around, and Channel 12 News. Instead of wanting to know about the Run Around the Lake, they're like, who's this Freddie guy and who just ran 50 miles? And that's how it started. Now, last year, he had like 25 people run with him. I ran with him 25 people last year, and it was just amazing. The fire departments along the way were opening up their firehouses to them and meeting them with crowds of people like all night long, and getting an escort from New York City to Nassau County to Suffolk County Police and coming in. It was just incredible. So it just has grown from just one man just deciding to do it. I was like, well, gee, Freddie, are you in the service? Or he goes, no, this just, what Mike did was amazing, and I just wanted to give back.
Wow, that's wonderful. But doesn't he then join us with our real race that day? And then they go and they do the 4 miles. In fact, one year, Taylor Kish, who is the actor who played Michael Murphy in the movie Lone Survivor, he didn't run with them, but as soon as they got here, he ran around the lake with them. Taylor's actually been to the race twice. Just what a wonderful young man from Texas. Just came here signing letters and just being willing to just have his time, giving it back to the public. It was just a phenomenal young man. No, it's an amazing thing how many people get involved, and there are families that come from out of state to participate in this run. Correct? Yes. Yeah. In fact, there was one family that came from Ohio. There were 3 children. They were like, I'm trying to think, it was like 8, 10, and 14, and a mom and dad, and they'd called up. They were driving to come to this event, to do the event, and spending a couple days here. They wanted the kids to just see and learn
about history and not to forget what people have sacrificed to give the freedoms we did. And so they were there. They wanted to help out, giving out water and stuff. So the parents did the run. The kids helped out. It's just, it has become really a community event. We had over 4,000 people there last year. And we have a number of very serious runners, but we also have just a number of people who really aren't runners, but they're here to support the cause because they believe in it. It's just amazing seeing that many people, the enthusiasm, the energy there. It's just an amazing, amazing event.
Yeah, the energy is ridiculous. And I believe on June 27th, our virtual event, you all can register for it, to run, to sponsor, to donate it on runaroundthelake.com. So Dr. Lou, what are the fundraising goals this year?
Yep. So last year we had raised a little over $175,000. Our goal was $200,000 this year. Now with everything going on with the virus, we're not sure we're going to make it, but we're still shooting for it. We only just as of this week we found out, of course, that we could not have the in-person run. So now it's going to be a fully virtual run. So we can really focus all our attentions on promoting that. Before that, everyone didn't know what was going on. What are you doing? And so that whole paralysis of analysis type of thing. But now I think we're focused. We only have 3.5 weeks to go, and we're going to be focused on getting the word out that what we do is important, and the causes that we support are important to everyone and need our help more now than ever. And so it's important for people to participate. And you can participate as runners, as sponsors, as donators, in any way, shape, or form. As you mentioned before, no amount is too little, no amount is too much.
Right.
Going to the website is really now everything is focused on the website. The runaroundlake.com gives you all the options of what you can do to help out.
Well, let's talk about those sponsorship options because, we are, all our listeners here, we're really asking you to dig deep and reach out and participate any way you can. You will feel good about it. It's a really good organization. It's a really good event that's going on. You could be part of something that's way bigger than yourself. So what are the sponsorship options that anyone can participate in? And I know you can go to runaroundthelake.com and check it out, but in the meantime, Dr. Lou, give us some ideas.
Sure. Well, for those who are very motivated to help out, we have our Medal of Honor sponsor, which this year we actually have Island Federal is our Medal of Honor sponsor, and they're donating $20,000 to this event, which is really awesome. We appreciate that so greatly. But then you have Purple Heart sponsor for $15,000. And again, each of these levels of sponsorship give different types of amenities with that, right, to be able to be in the back of our shirts.
And we've adjusted the sponsorships, right, for virtual.
Yes, for virtual,
there's a lot of exposure that you can, not only are you supporting a good cause, and for me, that's really the reason why one should do it, but the other benefit you get is you get recognition for it. You get exposure for that, and each level offers a lot of different things that help you get that recognition.
Exactly. And this way you can promote your business as well as doing good for the community. And so it's real important that people get behind this and help. And this way it benefits us all. But, whether someone wants to just donate, $5 or get together with friends or run rather and have people sponsor you, there's ways to do that also on the website so that everyone can get involved at all different levels. There isn't anyone who shouldn't feel that they can be involved. And really that's the benefit they get. As you talked about healthy living and living a healthy lifestyle and giving back to others, we get the benefits also from that. And that's something I've always felt strongly about, that I spend a lot of time giving to others, but I feel that, and as I've said, I think I get more out of it myself.
Yeah. Well, there's a great feeling, and it's hard to explain, but anybody who's done it understands it. I know you understand this, Dr. Lou. This is infused in your cellular composition, which is serving someone else will always make you feel better. We talk about this on Healthy Lifestyle all the time about how when you're feeling down, go help someone else. And just by doing that, it will lift you up as well as them, and it makes you feel good. Although we all like getting paid and there's a necessity for bringing income into the house, that volunteerism is just such a wonderful feeling. It's very fulfilling. something that you can't even explain to someone unless they actually do it. And that volunteering can be either time or donating to someone else, knowing you're helping another human being. And we talk about this. I end my show every week with that. We are here to serve one another and step out of your day and do a little something for someone else. Well, this is a little something you could do for someone else. A little, a lot, whatever you want to do. It's really good. And if you're a runner, you could do a virtual run. You could get together with no more than 10 people because that's what the rule is right now. Maybe the rule will loosen up by the time June 27th comes, but right now you could run in groups of 10, socially distanced, being safe, and get sponsored as a runner. You can sponsor as an individual or donate as an individual or sponsor as a corporation or a small business for a really, really good reason. This is a really good fundraiser for the Ronkonkoma Rotary, for Michael Murphy, Run Around the Lake, and some of the other sponsorship opportunities. What are they, Dr. Lou?
There's different, you can be a Silver Star sponsor, a Bronze Star, campaign sponsors. So there's all different levels depending on what people are comfortable and have the abilities to participate in. And that's all on the website.
Can they buy T-shirts on the website and do things like that?
Yep. We have all sorts of swag that's available. And actually, if you sign up for the race, not only do you get a T-shirt, you get a dog tag. We're giving out a Michael Murphy buff, which can be used as a face covering also. And for the half marathoners, you're also getting a half marathon finishing medal. So we have a lot of great swag. There are mugs available online and challenge coins. So there's a lot of swag that we give away, and also people can also purchase online at runaroundthelake.com.
Runaroundthelake.com. And also, you could be found on Twitter at Run Around the Lake, Instagram, Run Around the Lake, YouTube, Run Around the Lake at gmail.com. Facebook, it's Navy SEAL Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy Annual Run Around the Lake. Just check it out. And if you just want to Venmo, you can Venmo to Ronkonkoma Rotary at gmail.com. And those are all different ways if you don't go to the website. But I encourage you all to go to runaroundthelake.com. All the virtual sponsorships are up there, ways that you could participate and join. So let me ask you on a personal level, Dr. Lou, what's your why? Why do you do what you do?
I believe that our purpose in life is to leave this world better than we came in. And so I think I got that from my dad. He was also one of those guys that volunteered for Scouts and the Holy Name Society and Elks Club and all these different things. So I guess, as you said, it's in my DNA. But I think that, giving back and helping other people is really what my life's goal is.
You're such a role model for, the young and the old alike. And how does that make you feel, being a role model like this?
Well, I don't know. I just feel that I am just a person. I try to be a good dad and a good husband, and then a good scout, a scout leader, and do the things that I do the best I can. As I tell people, I sleep well at night because I give it my best every day. And sometimes I do great, and sometimes I do good, and sometimes I don't. but I do my best every day, and so I sleep well at night because of that. so that's the thing.
It's amazing the amount of time that you donate and what you do. You and your wife do, actually. Your family does. And I noticed that a lot of people engage their whole entire family and things like that when you give back to community. I know growing up, we were taught and raised and were brought to events to fundraise and work for others and serve others and volunteer. It was part of life. It just becomes an innate part of us, right?
Right, and it needs to be. And, I'm so glad to see the schools now require this, service hours and things like that, because they teach, so in effect, they're teaching it again. Because I think the family unit used to teach it, and then the family unit wasn't what it used to be, and so that may have been lost for a while, but I think it's coming back. And we can do our part to promote that and to keep it going, and it will make the world a better place. I sincerely believe that.
I totally believe that, too. And if each one of us does our part, if each one of us steps outside of ourselves on a daily, weekly basis, I really think the world will be a better place and we will be able to focus more on all the good that's going on. There's so much good going on in the world. You may not think that putting on TV, but there's so much good like this going on in the world where so many generous people come in and make donations and do sponsorships for organizations like this who turn around and make donations of over $100,000 last year alone went to veteran causes from the Ronkonkoma Rotary alone. And there's so many organizations out there doing things like this. So if not this, maybe another organization, but I really recommend you going on the runaroundthelake.com to see how you could participate, because it will feel good for you and do good for others. So if in the last few minutes that we have together, Dr. Lou, and thank you again so much for being on Healthy Lifestyle, what if you could say anything, and you can right now, to our listeners, what would that inspiration be?
It would be to make a difference. To make a difference, and to look inside yourself, and you will benefit from that, from making a difference for other people. Because as we talked about, the benefit you get back and the feelings you get back will probably outweigh whatever you give. But by giving, we make the world a better place. And as you said, if each of us does that, it'll be good.
And we do have a couple of minutes to just talk about, and I know you enjoy and get great satisfaction from helping people. I just know that from knowing you, the amount of time that I have. And you're also a podiatrist, correct?
Yes, I am. Been that for 38 years. So I'm still practicing. One of these days I'll get it right, and then it's time to retire.
And that's no longer a practice, so you retire?
Right, exactly.
There you go. And where do you practice? You're in Nesconset?
I'm in Nesconset. Been here for 36 of those years. Yeah. So I have a home office. It's worked out great. So my commute's to my garage. But it's just, podiatry has been a wonderful profession. Again, I enjoy helping people. So professionally, I'm able to do it in the medical field, and then through Rotary and Scouts, it enables me to do it, in our social world. And so it's just, I'm very blessed. I thank the good Lord every day for the blessings giving me, a wonderful wife, wonderful wife that has supported me and allowed me to do the things I've done and has been involved with me in doing that. And we have our sons. My one son is in the Coast Guard, so he's actually serving our country. And
thank you so much for that. Yeah. And you served our country, did you not?
No, I was a tweener. I was in between. I was just too young for Vietnam and too old for the world after that. So I had a draft card, but the draft was stopped in 1974, which is when I turned 18. So my dad was in the service, but my son is now carrying on that tradition too.
He's the one who was in the Coast Guard then. Yes, yes. Okay.
My son is, yes.
Understood. When we all appreciate that, any service is unbelievably appreciated. I know my boys get to do what they want to do, and they love what they do. And it's because of people like your son and Michael Murphy who really dedicate their life and make a choice to help serve in a different capacity, in a capacity that you and I don't do. We serve in other ways. So find a way to serve other people. It's wonderful to band together with like-minded individuals and really, really make a difference. And you do that every single day. And really appreciate you, Dr. Lou. You have no idea. And I love your attitude and your determination for altering the world and making it a better place. So really, really appreciate that about you. And again, thank you so much for being on. What was the website that they should go to if they want to be a runner, a sponsor, or donate?
runaroundthelake.com. And thank you, Lorianne, for all you do.
Oh, no, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it. And I honestly, I'm very humbled and honored to be a Rotarian. It was a very prideful day when I got sworn into the Ronkonkoma Rotary. And I love this run, and I think that more and more people need to get involved. Guys, we have a really big fundraising goal. We have to make up for lost time because we weren't sure if we were doing virtual or actual run. We're doing a virtual run on June 27th. Please register to run or register to sponsor. Get your sponsorship in. You get really a lot of exposure, and it's for a worthwhile cause. And or donate. Just putting the money in there and being part of something bigger than yourself is really important. We're trying to raise over $200,000 this year. I'd like us all to hit that goal. So you have all of these opportunities, and thank you to everybody who's on the committee for the race, for the Michael Murphy Run Around the Lake race. Thank you all for listening today and joining us on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. My heart is always lifted by sharing this time with you. Again, I want to thank Dr. Lou Scotti for being on. I always want to thank my producer. He's unbelievable, Michael, for doing what he does to make sure our show gets out there so you guys can hear all this great information. And remember, we're here to serve one another, so step out of your day, do a little something for someone else. That's what we really need to do. That helps us and it helps other people. It's really important. Please stay healthy and safe. Practice social distancing. Show love to one another by doing that. Put on your mask so that you can keep other people safe as well. Thank you again for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lorianne Casdia. I'd like you to play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big.